Okay, Matthew, here is your watch. I finally ground through the job that I was doing before this, so here we are. Um, this 6139, I went back and I double checked very carefully. You had talked about this hand resetting incorrectly. And so I wanted to make sure that what the actual cause of that was. So I looked at the back, I pulled off all the winding mechanisms on the back side of the movement. I looked at the reset adjustments for this. I looked at the cleanliness and lubrication of the minute counter assembly, which interacts with this hand. I looked at it very carefully. I took some real time to go through it and make sure that I had the right diagnosis here for you. These hands, Seiko designed these to be replaced with new hands. That's not really possible anymore when these are serviced. So when these, when someone needs to get in and remove these hands or do something with the dial, whatever, we need to reuse these hands. It's just the way that it is, for the most part, unless that person has the correct hands. Now, these hands can be reused, but you have to know what you're doing, because if they're reset incorrectly, or if they're, there's some other problem going on, if the person doesn't have the right tool, which looks like this, that is the correct Seiko tool for setting this. That is a Seiko S501 movement holder. You have to have this in order to seat these correctly. If the person working on this watch didn't have those, that can be a problem. If they don't have knowledge in how to work on this, that could also be a problem. So what happens is this little aluminum tube that's right in the middle of this hand here, this splits, or it loosens up. And the hand, instead of sitting where it's supposed to sit, flops around a little bit. This hand now, if I let this hand travel down to here, if I run the chronograph and I reset it, boom, it snaps over here and it comes back too far. And that position where it stops at changes a little bit, which it never should do. If I let this hand come all the way back around here and I hit the stop it and I reset, the hand's not going to come back this way. It's not a flyback. It's going to come back this way. And if I do that, this hand, instead of setting here, is going to set over here somewhere. Boom, the hand is moving. So this tube right here is split, and the hand is bad and it has to be replaced. Additionally, some other stuff, I don't know if you can see that little white fleck there and that white fleck there? That's loose lume from the new looming job that came in here. So your watch has like little flakes of junk in it. And I saw little hairs and flakes of things on the back side of the movement as well. So this watch, when it was open, was not in a clean environment. And that is also going to affect how it runs. The watch is also massively out of adjustment, and has some other issues. We can look at the numbers here as it's running. It's got 2.9 beat error, which is a fair amount. It's certainly not running as well as it could. So it's out of adjustment. It's got low amplitude now. I don't know what it looked like before, but if this were a watch I'd never seen before, I would say this watch needed to be serviced based on the things that I'm seeing. The fact that the numbers are low, the hand is bad, and there's obvious flakes of material throughout the watch. So hopefully that information is edifying for you, and you can have a better understanding of what's going on with this watch and what it's going to need. But at a minimum, I would suggest it's going to need a cleaning because it's got those flakes of junk all through it, and it's going to need a replacement on that hand because this hand is junk. Okay, bye.